Okay, so question number 23. Daniel invests £2,500 for 3 years. The compound interest is 2.9% per year. What calculation works out the total value after 3 years? Now, to calculate the compound interest, we need to work out the multiplier of 2.9%. Okay, so to find the multiplier, we divide the percentage increase, so 2.9, we divide that by 100, and that gives you the multiplier, which is 1.029. Okay, so to find the compound interest for 3 years, we need to multiply 2500 by 1.029 cube. Okay, and that is your answer for 23A. 23B, Anna invests £2,500 for 3 years. The interest rate is 3.5% for the first year, 2.3% for the second year onwards. Whose investment is worth more after 3 years? So, so Anna invests £2,500 for and 3.5% interest for the first year. That means to find the multiplier of 3.5, we again divide 3.5 by 100. Okay, and that gives you 1.035, and then we just need to multiply for the first year. Okay, we need to do 2500 and we multiply that by 1.035. Okay, why we are multiplying by 1.035? Because we need to work out the new amount after getting that increase. If you don't do one, if you just multiply by 0.035, that gives you just the amount which is increasing, but not the new value in the after the interest added in that value. So when you do this on your calculators, that gives you the answer, which is 2,587.50. So that is the amount she will have in her account after the first year. Then the second year, the interest rate is 2.3% here. So for 2.3%, the multiplier is 1.023. And we use the same method as we use here to find the multiplier. So we divide 2.3 by 100, and then we times that by 1. That gives you, add 1, and that gives you 1.023. So 2,587.50, and we multiply that by 1.023, and that gives you the new balance, which is 2,647.0125. Right, and then for the third year, we will again multiply the new balance, which is this one, so 2,647.0125, multiply that by 1.023 again, because it's again 2.3% increase, and that gives you the final answer, which is 2,707.89. That is about the third one. So whose investment is worth more after 3 years? So Anna's investment is 2,707.89. And if you use, for the Daniel investment is 2,500 for 3 years. So if you type this on your calculator, 2,500 times that by 1.029 cube, and that gives you the investment which the money which Daniel got after 3 years, that is 2,723.868. Okay, so 2,723.868, that's the money which Daniel got, and Anna got 2,707. That means that Daniel got the most money in her account, in his account, sorry. So question number 24. The angles in triangle A are in the ratio 1 to 2 to 5. The angles in triangle B are in the ratio 3 to 4 to 5. Anisha says this is the ratio for the angles in triangle B. Now Anisha says the end number in each ratio is 5. So the biggest angle in each triangle must be equal. Okay, so as I told you always that when we have a ratio, we always start by adding the parts together. So for triangle A, if we add the parts together, that gives you 1 plus 2 plus 5, which is 8 parts altogether. Okay, so we know that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if you divide 180 by in 8 equal parts, or 180 divided by 8, that gives you the value for one part, which is 22.5. Now, so if we multiply 22.5 with the ratios, that gives you 22.5 times 1, which is 22.5, times that by 2, that gives you 45, and times that by 5, that gives you 112.5. Okay, so these are the angles of this triangle here. So one angle is 22.5, second angle is 45, and third angle is 112.5. Now we need to do the same thing for the triangle B as well, where the ratio is 3 to 4 to 5. Now, so first step is adding the ratios together. That gives you the total number of parts, which are 12. Divide again 180 by 12, and that gives the value for one part, which is 15. And then we know that 15 times 3 is 45, 15 times 4 is 60, and 15 times 5 is 75. That means one angle is 40 of this triangle B is 45, one angle is 60, and one angle is 75. So Anisha is not correct. Okay, because it doesn't show that n, because n number in each ratio is 5, so the biggest angle must be equal. It's not the case because the ratios are different here. Okay, so we are sharing it into two different parts. That's why it can't be the same. So question number 25, here is a graph of a straight line. Work out the equation of the line. Now the equation of the line is y equals mx plus c. So y equals mx plus c. M is the gradient or slope. Okay, and c is the intercept. Intercept is the point where the line meets the y-axis, and in this particular case the intercept or c is 1, because that's the point where your line meets the y-axis. Now the gradient is the slope, and to calculate the slope is the formula you need to use is rise over run. So we choose any 2 points on the graph. You can choose this one, or this one. Then we draw a triangle, which will be a straight line from this point to this point, and then join the 2 points together with the triangle. And then we calculate the rise. That rise is 1 and 2 up and 1 across. That means the rise of the overrun is 2 over 1, which equals to 2. C is 1, so we just simply put the values in the equation, and that gives you y equals m, which is the slope, which is 2, x plus c. C is a point where it meets the y-axis, that is 1. So that is your line equation, which is y equals 2x plus 1. 25b, work out the coordinates of the y-intercept of the line that is parallel to the line in part A, passes through 2, 2. So our equation, the line equation is y equals 2x plus 1. Okay, now because it passes to the point 2, 2, that means the value of x is 2 and y is 2 as well. That's what we need to substitute in this equation here. And then we need to calculate the value of, sorry, this is c, because we are just using, we need to work out the point where it meets the y-axis, because this line has to be parallel. Okay, so instead of y, you put the value of y, which is 2, equals 2 times 2 plus c. Okay, and that gives you 2 equals 2 times 2 is 4, 4 plus c. So c equals 2 take away 4, which is minus 2. Right? So your point where it meets the y-axis, it always remember when it meets the y-axis, the value of x here is always 0. No matter where the point where it meets, the value of x will always be 0 for y-intercept, okay? So this value must be 0, and then we know the c equals -2, so this point will be -2. So these are the coordinates of the y-intercept of the line. 26. Question number 26. A 10-kilometer race took place. Information about the times achieved by women are in table. The mean time achieved by men was 81 minutes. Compare the mean time achieved by men and women. So for to comparing the mean time, we need to first work out the mean time for women as well first. So to calculate the mean from the frequency table, first we calculate the middle point of each of these class. So 50 to 60, the middle point is 55. 60 to 80, the middle point is 70. And 80 to 100, the middle point is 90 here. Number of women are 1, 6, and 13. So to find the mean, we know that the formula for mean is sum of the data divided by the total frequency. Sum of data, mean equals sum of data divided by total frequency. Okay, so the sum of the data, what we need to do is we multiply this column and this column together. Okay, so 55 times 1 is 55, 70 times 6 is 420, and 90 times 13 is 1170. Then we add these numbers together. So all these numbers we need to add together, and that gives you the answer, which is 1645. The total frequency is 20. The mean of women's data is 1645. Divide that by 20, and that gives you 82.25. Okay, and that is the mean of women. Women's mean time, okay, which is obviously bigger than 81 minutes, which is the mean time achieved by men. So women, you can say that women took 1.25 more minutes than men. Okay, and that's the end of